Yes, good morning. My name is Viva Cunliffe. I'm going to talk this morning about an interesting theory that I have developed. I did it for my master's degree thesis. Um, I just want to make a note here that the slides are cut off to the right. So we only have about 6 of them. So I will go through them slowly and I'll make sure that you don't miss the text. I guess I could go through and make all the slides much narrower, but it seems to me that it's quite a lot of work to do. So basically what we're going to talk about today is weather and storm modification with hydroxyl. So we can generate a number of different oxidants, and some of them are positively charged, some are ionized negatively, and some are um, radicals. So there's an unstable electron associated with that. So um, our belief is that one day we would love to see this concentrated hydroxyl solution weather modification work replace the heavy residue metals and chemicals, because essentially once this gets tested, if it works really well, then none of those chemicals are needed to be put into the environment. And I mean, let's look at this. This is what our geniuses are doing right now. And it just taxes the natural system while adding a toxic load to biological organisms. So, I mean, everybody and his dog that's a chemist right now has decided that a tiny bit of chemical can be added to the environment. And now humanity, the health of all of the living organisms are inundated. So we have to change the way we're doing things at some point in order to just salvage our biological heritage. Okay, so this is a cloud with a standing cloud charge above it, positively charged and negatively below it. Now, there is a lot of electricity in the sky. We know that there are discharges made by lightning all the time because static electricity builds up. So we do have a very electrified and electrical system in our atmosphere. A lot of people forget that. So our theory is that we can manipulate that electrical charge around the cloud and cause it to either precipitate or to suppress the precipitation. Okay. Um, so that means that the areas around the cloud, upstream to the cloud, downstream to the cloud, or either side of the cloud are all candidate areas to deposit charged ions or radicals. So here we have a picture showing rectangles with positively charged radicals, which are put on the windward side of this cloud. And this can encourage the attraction of the cloud to a certain space in the area. So we could actually shepherd the positioning of the clouds to probably quite a noticeable degree with charge manipulation, because they are electromagnetic. Here is a kinetic energy reduction and precipitation reduction in pre-tornadic storm cells or persistent storm formation areas. So here we have moist convection coming up, or clouds that are forming a thunderhead. And what we can do is install positively charged ions below the cloud that will suppress the standing cloud charge and the release of energy in the way of precipitation. And so it basically suppresses the resolution of the cloud until it moves along and builds up with less energy because a positive charge sponges up electrons. So it is taking energy out of the system. So it's these systems can be managed for moisture placement and charge balance in this theory, which I think is actually a pretty solid theory. It just needs an opportunity to be tested. Precipitation triggering. This is an overhead view of the leftward approach. So we have negatively charged radicals coming in on the right-hand side, and the standing cloud charge is already very positive. So you just have to place different positively charged ones on the opposite side, and the attraction force will activate the direction movement of it in concert with the actual airflow. Like, we have to realize that you have to would have to understand the airflow as well too, so that you know what you're trying to do with the directionalizing. So basically, for cloud positioning, you would be looking at shepherding the direction and then actually, frankly, suppressing the precipitation or triggering the precipitation. And that's probably all you need to do when you have a system that's been, fully mitigated with an oxidation event and the climate is back to normal. So here are the compounds: the hydroxyl radical, the hydroxide, ionized hydroxide, and a negatively charged hydroxide, which is known as the hydroxide ion as well too. There are two charges there. So we have in this technique no unwanted residues. The whole technique is water soluble, and it's remedial and it's harmless. So we think it has a lot of merit, and one day we think this is what humanity will come to its senses for. Thank you very much.